In the year 2079, Earth is unrecognizable. The hum of nature replaced by neon buzz. And the bees? Gone. Extinct. The collapse didn't come as a shock. It came like static, creeping, subtle, and persistent. At first, there were just fewer bees, then none. Flowers wilted without visits, fruits never formed, fields turned quiet. But the real noise came after. The silence of collapse roared through supply chains and stock markets. Supermarkets emptied, governments pointed fingers, megacorporations sold solutions, pollination drones, pollen banks. But you can't reboot a rhythm. Nature had been edited out, one line of code at a time. Cities built around data flows didn't know how to breathe. The hum of servers replaced the hum of life. Ecosystems, finely tuned by evolution, crashed without their keystone. By the time people realized what we'd lost, it was too late. The last wild bee died not in the wild, but dissected in a climate-sealed lab, analyzed, archived, forgotten. In the vacuum left by nature, synthetic systems emerged, faster, colder, glitchier. Bee replacement bots, pollen mist algorithms, bioengineered flora coded to survive without pollinators. It worked, kind of. Fields lit with LEDs instead of sunshine. Artificial trees trickled nutrients from carbon converters. And yet, something essential was missing. The taste of fruit changed. It tasted like memory, empty, distant, artificial. Nutrition bars replaced meals. Packaged paste replaced variety. Biodiversity was optimized out for efficiency. The systems we built to fix the loss only mirrored our hubris. Megacorporations claimed victory, but their version of nature came with firmware updates and subscription plans. And when those systems failed, as all complex ones eventually do, there was no backup for what once was natural. The ghost of the hive still haunted the networks, in corrupted files labeled Prototype Pollinator V7.9. I'll just pause the video for a moment to say, if you're enjoying the video so far, it would mean a lot if you gave it a like. And if you want to see more content like this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. They became legends, the bees, turned into lore, artifacts, simulations. In digital classrooms, children waved hands through augmented swarms. They watched explainer videos with soundtracks, not buzz. They learned bees were important, essential even, but only as a concept. Museums featured relics, wax combs behind glass. Archived videos looped endlessly, bees pollinating orchards in slow motion. In gaming metaverses, bee avatars zipped through cartoon forests, their purpose reduced to point scores and loot drops. And in the back rooms of data centers, servers held compressed memories of colonies. Flight patterns, buzz frequencies, waggle dances, all mapped to numbers and lines of code. But none of it replaced the real thing. No simulation could replicate the smell of wild honey. No hologram carried the weight of a living wing beat. The memory persisted, but the presence had been lost. Then the cracks widened, not in the walls, but in the food systems. Synthetic crops began failing. Nutrient mist clogged vents. Soil, once rebranded as grow base, turned sterile from overexposure to chemical cycles. Supply chains collapsed under their own precision. There were no backups, only cues. In elite towers, genetically preserved fruits were eaten under filtered sunlight. In the alleys below, gray nutrient gel oozed from dispensers. People adapted, or tried. Smog-choked cities grew vertical gardens under UV light. Flavor became a luxury. Meals became math. Hope dimmed, replaced by emergency updates and ration codes. Even rebellion became mechanical. Protests monitored by drones, uprisings calculated as system errors. Some believed it was evolution. Others called it extinction in slow motion. Without bees, the world hadn't just changed, it had broken. And yet, where systems collapsed, life crept in. Rogue ecologists, fringe botanists, and former hackers formed something rare. Not a resistance, but a restoration. They built sanctuaries in the forgotten places, flooded train tunnels, cracked parking structures, decommissioned drone warehouses. They planted not with algorithms, but with their hands, seed by seed, root by root. Some found hidden caches of wild bee DNA, smuggled and stored since the collapse. Others reverse engineered pollination behaviors in hybrid bots that mimicked life instead of simulating it. Underground networks formed, trading spores, seeds, and soil cultures. Hope became currency. Biodiversity became rebellion. Children born in the gray zones grew up with both neon and nectar. And slowly, quietly, the buzz returned. Not from machines, but from life rediscovering its rhythm. Nature doesn't forget. It waits in silence, in the cracks between concrete, in the shadows cast by glowing towers. When we listen, not with devices but with intention, it returns. In the ruins of forgotten cities, roots reclaimed their place. What once buzzed in wires now hums again in wings. And the children, raised on archives and simulations, now walk barefoot in gardens that breathe. People remembered what it meant to nurture, what it meant to grow without command lines. The bees didn't just pollinate crops, they pollinated culture, connection. They were threads in the web that held us all. Now, as metal rusts and neon fades, wildflowers break through. The synthetic gives way to the organic. Not as it was, but as it could be. Blended, co-evolved. Hybrid hives sing softly beneath satellite trees. Human hands protect them, not to control, but to coexist. The buzz returns, not in machines, but in meaning. We lost the bees, but in searching for them, we rediscovered ourselves, not as dominators of nature, but as part of it. And this buzzing, blooming, tangled world is just the beginning. Like this video, leave a comment, subscribe, and follow along as we rewrite tomorrow.